So we're going to use a blanket and we're going to use a block. So let's start out seated and have a block nearby. We'll be using that a little bit later. So sitting comfortably up on something, a cushion or a blanket. Maybe your legs are crossed, maybe they're stretched out, maybe you're sitting on your heels with a blanket in between your calves and your thighs. Whatever feels best for you. And we're just going to take a little moment to ground into an opening meditation here. So finding your seat, letting your shoulders drop away from your ears. The spine elongating, crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. And begin to deepen your breath. And as we breathe here, I'd like you to inwardly repeat a little affirmation for yourself. With each inhale, very slowly say to yourself, I am here. And then feel yourself exhale. And then again, I am here with the inhale. And then exhale, distractions, inner conflicts, tension. And then inhale again, I am here. And then continue with that mantra, and with the exhale, we're gonna hum, which sends vibration through the body and helps clear tension, anxiety. It tones the vagus nerve. So with each exhale, just hum. One more. And letting yourself let go of that focus, of that affirmation and the humming. And take a couple breaths, seeing if anything has shifted from that focus, the awareness, the humming. Lovely. From here, we're going to move to hands and knees. So gently make your way there. And if you'd like to put your blanket underneath your knees for a little extra padding, you can do that. Hands spread really wide underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips are a little bit wider. Take an inhale here. Exhale, round the spine, gazing towards your belly button. Inhale, tilt the pelvis. Let the motion slide up the spine, belly drop, head lift. Exhale, rounding back. Whew. Inhale. Moving with your breath rhythm, feeling into the fluidity of your spine. Maybe gently increasing the movement or the extent to which you're stretching at both ends. And then making your way back to a neutral tabletop. And begin to circle your ribs around. And this can be a very small circle at first, and then gradually winding into a larger circle. And if you're pressing out into the edge of the circle. Notice how the rest of the body moves. Allow this movement to fluidly invite the hips, the head, the arms. Going back the other way, reversing the direction. How can we bring more gentleness into the inner conversation? Flowing here. Lovely. Coming back to center, curl the toes under and press back to a down dog. Bend one knee deeply and then the other, stretching through the backs of the legs. And with your next inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Keep it lifted. Exhale here. With your next inhale, lift up onto the ball of the left foot. So you're lifting the heel. And then exhale, bring the heel down and bring the right toes down to touch. And then inhale, lifting up again. Heel lifts, leg lifts. Exhale, back down. Let's do 2 more. And then bringing that right foot forward to the outside of the right hand, drop the left knee to the floor. And you might want to find your block underneath your hands inside that right leg. And then we're going to circle the hips around here. Releasing to circle. Right foot might move around a bit. And go back the other way with your circle. And then coming back into your lunge, grounding down with that right foot. You might move it in towards the block a little bit more. Coming up, placing the hands on the knee. See if you can sink the hips a bit. Letting that left hip flexor get a nice stretch. And then inhale, open the arms to the sky. And as you exhale, bring your arms to cactus arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus arms. One more time, this time add a lion's breath. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, touch the mat. You can move the block out of the way and press back. We're going to come into a down dog again. Walking out the dog, and then drop your knees to the floor and press back to a child's pose. Pressing the elbows down here, bringing the palms together, dropping them to the back of the neck. Nice stretch through the shoulders and the triceps. Couple deep breaths here. Releasing here, pulling forward and coming into heart melting pose or puppy. So the hips are above the knees and melting the heart. You can bring your chin or forehead to the floor. Nice shoulder opener here. Heart opener, and then pull forward. And we're going to come down onto our bellies and bringing the hands together to make a pillow for your forehead. And we're going to bring the knees out wide and bring the soles of the feet together. So this is kind of like a frog pose called tadpole. So kind of like bound angle pose, but on your belly, or frog pose is where we're up with our knees coming out to the sides. So this is a little more gentle, but feel that stretch in the inner thighs. And we'll take a few breaths here. Feel your belly breathing into the supportive belly of the earth. Knowing you are nurtured and supported and held right here, right now. One more breath. And then bringing the hands back under the shoulders, legs back in alignment, and press back through hands and knees to a down dog. Just notice if even coming into the down dog right now feels a little more easeful, gentle, rounded, relaxed, peaceful. Nice. With your next inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. And exhale, lift the right heel up off the floor. And then inhale, coming down. Toes touch, heel touch. Inhale up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale up. Exhale, coming down. One more. And then bring that foot through to the top of the mat, dropping right knee to the floor. Bring the block underneath the hands, and the left foot is out to the left side of the mat. And begin to circle the hips, and this might be a really slow, tiny circle at first. And you can begin to wind out a little bit. And let the legs follow in whatever way they need to. Circling of the hips. And coming back to the awareness of tending our own inner well-being is in great service to the bigger picture. Let's reverse the direction. Nice, coming back to center, scoot that left foot in alignment. And then bring the hands up to the knee, letting the hips sink forward. Nice stretch through the right hip flexor this time. And then bringing the arms up, inhale. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, open that heart, cactus arms. One more time with lion's breath. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, release the hands down. And bring them to the mat. Curl the back toes under and press back to a down dog. And walking out your dog. And then dropping the knees, we'll press back. Child's pose again, bringing the hands together. Walk the elbows forward, letting the arms stretch. One more breath here. And then releasing the arms, pulling forward to a puppy pose or heart melting pose. Opening the heart here. And then pulling forward and sliding back onto your belly. Let's come to Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath the shoulders, hands pressed out in front. Pressing down into the mat, extending the head, shoulders dropping down away from the ears. So we might tend to just sink down into the shoulders, lifting. See if you can really press into the arms and lift out of the shoulders, shoulders pressing away. And then very gently and slowly nod your head. Yes. And lifting it up, leaning back. And then we'll do the same thing with no. So we'll turn the head side to side. And then coming back to center, bringing the elbows out to the sides, chin or forehead to the stacked palms. Bringing the knees out to the sides again for a tadpole, bringing the soles of the feet together, press them in. Feel those hips passively stretching the inner thighs. If you don't feel much of a stretch, you can kind of hike your legs up outside. Either side, and breathe here. Again, feel the connection of your belly to the belly of the earth. One more deep breath here. And then releasing, stretching the legs back behind you and bringing the arms by your sides here. Chin to the mat. And with your next inhale, lift up your arms, your head, and your legs. And exhale back down. Inhale, lift again. Exhale down. This time we're going to hold it. And if you would like to interlace your hands behind your back and lift from here, please do 3 deep breaths. And exhale, rolling down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, press back through hands and knees to a down dog. Walking out your dog, integrating. Looking up past your hands, little baby step by little baby step, walk your feet up to your hands and hang in a forward fold. Shake the head around. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Soft knees. And with your next inhale, sweep your arms out and up, swinging all the way up. Palms pressed together. Exhale, hands to the heart. Pause for a moment here. We'll do a little standing balance moment with some more humming breath so that we're really landing the breath here. So bringing the hands to the hips. Shift the weight over into the right foot. Begin to pick the left foot up. So you might keep toes on the floor here, and you might bring the knee up into the air. See what feels approachable for you today. And inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And then as you exhale, we're going to float the arms in that same line, out and down with a hum. Do that one more time. Beautiful. Releasing the leg down. Let's take a couple hip circles in each direction. You can bring your hands back to your hips. Go back the other way. And then we'll do the other side. Pressing left foot down into the earth, feeling the roots growing down. You can bring the right toes to the floor, feeling if that's enough balance challenge for you today. If you'd like to go further, you can lift the leg up into the air, knee bent. Bring the arms by the sides. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, release down with a hum. Inhale up. Beautiful. Take an inhale. And exhale, release down. Let's swing the arms side to side here. Little love taps into the liver and spleen and kidneys. And then we'll come back down onto the mat. Before we do that, roll your blanket up to make a little mini bolster. We'll set it to the side and then bring your block with you. We're going to come down onto our backs with the knees bent. And with your next inhale, press strongly into your feet, lifting up for a bridge pose. Slide the block either at the lowest or the medium height underneath your sacrum. And let your body rest on the block. It always feels so good to me just to have that pressure And the sacrum, the back of the hips like that. So it's like the whole front of the pelvis can relax. Yeah. So from here, you might lift your legs up into the air. A little bit of an inversion. Very calming for the nervous system. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And then releasing the feet down. Pressing into the feet, lifting up off the block, removing the block, and laying that chain of pearls that is your spine gently, lovingly back down onto the ground. Hug your knees into your chest. Let your knees come away from each other. Reach through the inside of the knees, grabbing onto the outside of the feet or the ankles for a happy baby pose. You can rock side to side here if you'd like. I like pressing into this, the place in the flesh in between the big toe and second toe. Massage in there. Releasing from there, rolling over to one side and finding your blanket that you rolled up. And we're going to place it along the spine and lay back over it, supporting the head with the blanket too. And you can bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out to the sides if that feels good to you. If not, feel free to just stretch the legs out. So we're going to do this heart opening, also optional hip opening Shavasana here. So sinking into the support beneath you. And if any of this just doesn't feel good to you in this moment, feel free to just come to regular Shavasana. See if you can relax your jaw, feel the breath flowing like the air around you is breathing you instead of you breathing it. Feel yourself being nurtured by the elements around you, the elements within you. Bringing your awareness back to the surface of your body. Begin to deepen your breath. And wiggle your fingers and toes. And as you're ready, bend one knee and then the other. Placing both feet on the floor. And come to rest over on your right side. Taking a breath here and keeping your eyes closed and your attention internal. Gently press your way up to find a seat. And sitting with your eyes closed, allow these words from Thich Nhat Hanh to wash over you. What is most important is not to allow anxiety about what happens in the world to fill your heart. If your heart is filled with anxiety, you will get sick and you will not be able to help. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart, pressing your thumbs in to feel your heartbeat, your personal pulse. And setting the intention to go into the rest of your day, cultivating peace in your heart, noticing what of the world's anxieties you are tempted to take on. See if you can cultivate maintaining equanimity and peace in your heart so that you may stay well amidst a very challenging world. So then you're able to help. Thank you for joining me for practice today. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste.